Hefty, large black bags are built for a reason. They're meant for yard work. If they were meant for fuzzy bunny playtime, they'd look something like this.
Bunnies.
Today on This Old House, we'll wrap up work on an accessible home for veteran Matt DeWitt.
And we'll create a few special projects for the family and turn over the keys as the DeWitts start a new life in their new home.
We build the home, but we also try to help them rebuild their lives.
It's really given us the space to prepare for a future family.
I try to get out
Mr.
front,
Kitty.
push as hard as I can, and try to push the pace. When I'm out there swimming, I don't feel pain.
There's nothing you can do to hold us or stop us from accomplishing what we want in life.
So excited, can't wait.
We're going to stay with this mission till we get it done.
With the house nearing completion, we're all starting to think about the landscaping. And tomorrow is Volunteer Day. We're going to have over 100 volunteers help us plant this entire site. But before we do that, Roger, we got ourselves a little construction project.
Well, what a beautiful site we have. 6 acres set in New Hampshire with stone walls.
It's terrific.
Beautiful. Now, one of the things Matt always wanted to be able to do was to grow vegetables for his family year-round.
Not easy to do in New Hampshire. Short growing season.
Very
right?
short growing season. So what we decided to do is team up with a local greenhouse supplier and build them a high tunnel greenhouse that's 16 feet wide and 36 feet long.
Big structure.
Take a look. You can see right here these rounded galvanized pipes.
That's the frame.
Right, that's what the poly's going to be draped over.
Okay.
And then on the end, we have a wood end gable and a door in the middle.
All right, so what are we working on?
You and I are going to help set these posts and put the poly on.
Yep.
But we really need a couple of carpenters to build this end and a door first.
Let's see if these guys are up for the job.
Let me know.
All right, I'll check back with you. Oh, so these are our carpenters, huh? I bet you guys got a plan.
We do have a plan. We're actually going to build a couple of gable ends on this greenhouse. Because it's a greenhouse, the walls are going to get wet inside and out.
Yep.
So we're going to make all the framing out of pressure treated 2x4s, 24 on center.
Nice.
And on each end, there'll be a 4-foot wide door, which will make it easy to get a wheelbarrow in and out. And on the ends, to cover over the studs and close it in, we're going to use Texture 111. Nothing fancy here, it's just got to work.
You guys sound like you know what you're talking about.
And we're learning.
All right, lots of work. Let's get to it.
We start by using an auger to drill holes for the ground posts to anchor the entire structure. Then the bows just feed into the ground post and get bolted in place. A little more. All set, Kev?
It's in.
There's 10 main bows, and they're made up of 1.5 inch galvanized steel, and they're all connected together with carriage bolts. Come up to me. Good. That does it for the bows. Now we got to put the purlins in to tie all the bows together.
Roger, it's nice that everything comes pre-cut and pre-drilled.
Sure makes it go up fast.
Back to you, Roger. Nice. Thank you.
With the ridge pole done, now we just have to add some diagonal bracings. Ed and Rob are with a local company that has fabricated the entire kit for us. The next thing we're going to do is mount this 2x10 to the post.
Beauty.
Beauty.
Well, the first step for the end walls is to install some sills, 2x4 pressure treated material.
Ooh.
All right, now we're going to start framing for the door. We're going to start with a 2x4 right here, putting on our mark at the bottom. Now we got to make it plumb. Right there, looks good now. Okay. For each stud, we'll toenail screws into the plate at the bottom. And at the top, we'll wrap a plumber's tape around the steel frame and attach it to the 2x4.
good swing to it.
Yeah, it's a nice size too.
All right, so I think that's pretty much the end of the carpentry, right? And
Yeah.
Roger and I will come back tomorrow. We'll get a crew, we'll put the plastic on, and we will finish this thing up. But you know what? Looks great. Thank you, guys.
Glad we could help.
Hey, Chris, good to see you.
Good morning, Kevin. How you doing?
All right, you got a lot of people here
We
today.
do. Yeah, we do. It's going to be a big crowd.
This is your crew for the rest of the day. What is the point of Volunteer Day?
Today is one of our 3 signature events. We have a groundbreaking key ceremony and volunteer day. This is the day we can engage all of our donors and supporters to landscape the whole outside of the home.
You don't actually have them work on the house. That's for the
No,
pros.
that's the pros do that. This is all volunteers. We've got foundation plantings to put in, mulch. We've got 10,000 square feet of sod we're laying down.
Big
Lay
group of
down that
people.
sod.
Build in New England, we have a big support base. We've got all of the New England states are here. There's a woman here that I met early this morning from Maine who's been to 2 of our other events down in Virginia. It's a great way for the community of Hopkinton and New England to say thank you to a hero.
Terrific. Let's get our hands
All
dirty.
right, good.
Okay, now we're gonna put this lid up to hold the plastic.
You gonna be a landscaper?
Staff Sergeant Joseph Finefor is a member of Homes for Our Troops Veterans Action and Advisory Team and has been living in his specially adapted home since 2013.
When I got my house, I think the biggest thing for me was a sense of safety and security of having a home like this where I know I don't have any challenges. I can move around freely. The house is totally accessible not only to me but for my friends.
So this house has got a lot of adaptive features that serve you, but is there a room that's your favorite?
I'd probably say, because I'm a guy, I'll probably say my favorite is the garage because it holds all my stuff.
So this is the gear, huh?
Yeah, these are the weapons for the race.
3 years after he was injured, Joe was introduced to the world of hand cycling. He tackled the challenge head on.
The very first bike ride was a 6-mile bike ride, and I was exhausted. And then a couple months later, I did the New York City Marathon. I finished that in 2 hours and 59 minutes, and now I do a marathon in half that time.
So it was a modest start, but you've obviously increased and gone to different and higher levels with every iteration.
Yeah, I started triathlon a couple years ago, and this year I got to race for Team USA twice. And that was always my goal. I always wanted to race as a member of Team USA. Swimming was the toughest thing for me to learn because learning to kick without having legs, you have to use your arms for everything.
It's unbelievable.
So this is my closet, which has all my my race gear and
Get a little bit of everything in here.
yeah, wetsuits and race suits. And then these are the tri-suits, but then this is the one I'm most proud of. This is the Team USA uniform that I got.
So this was the dream. You would wanted to wear this uniform. So long.
Yep.
around.
So I got my stars and stripes, but I'm just wearing a different uniform for my country. So
Hard fought for that one, huh?
yeah, it was tough, because going from where I was to what I can do now is just it's unbelievable in this short amount of time, and it was a great experience.
And so what is it? Is it the competitiveness? Is it the physical activity?
It's a community, and I tell everybody it's also therapy. When I'm riding a bike or when I'm out there swimming, I don't feel pain. I still have pain in my legs. I still have spasms in my legs, but when I'm out training, I don't feel them at all. And I don't have any stress. I'm just enjoying, what I'm doing at that moment, riding my bike. And that to me is probably the biggest impact I get from doing adaptive sports.
All right, man. Thanks for showing me around.
Yep.
It's awesome.
My pleasure. Thank
It's
you.
awesome. This project came together quickly over the last 5 months, and one of the last things to tend to is the master closet, which also doubles as a safe room. When this house was built, these 4 walls were made out of solid concrete block, reinforced with steel rebar, and we even have a steel door. 3 deadbolts makes me feel safe. And Brian McSherry, good to see you again.
You too, Kevin. How are you?
So you've helped us out in the past, and we actually know you've been here for hours working hard. We've seen this installation system before. A track goes onto the wall, the partitions get hung off of that, and then shelves and drawers and such. That's typical for us, but working on an accessible closet, new for you?
A few differences. We've done 4 homes for our troops' houses so far, including the very first one.
Oh, wow.
But it starts really with the door opening out for accessibility.
Nice.
And then there's a turning circle in the middle of the room, wheelchair accessible and wheelchair turning circle.
So we're looking for extra width in here so someone could get by. So big wide opening here, although Matt doesn't have to avail himself of that.
In this case, it doesn't apply,
But good to have.
but it's always nice to have a wide aisle space.
Okay, and then it's also a safe room. Considerations when you're building a closet in a safe room?
Yeah, right. In this case, there's a lot of outlets, more than typical, so we had to work around those.
Okay.
And in the corner over there, you see another vent, an additional vent on the wall.
We
So-
need ventilation, right?
Right.
So that's sort of the different stuff.
Mhm.
What's probably always there is the homeowners want something.
Right.
They want to design their own closet. What features do they add?
Well, their wardrobes are fairly typical, hanging and space for shelving and shoes and things like that. They do
Sure.
want some drawers, which we put in.
Yeah.
And we've got handles instead of knobs to make them a little more accessible.
That's a little easier to work right there. Okay.
A few of the more popular accessories, belt rack and
Sure.
tie rack up here.
Yep.
Some hooks on the wall.
I've seen this before, right? Hanging hangers right
Little
there.
ballet rod for some temporary hanging.
Perfect.
Sure.
And then the material itself, nice crisp white. What's underneath?
Right, it's a 3/4 inch furniture grade melamine laminate, solid panel.
Terrific.
Very strong stuff.
Okay, well, we're thrilled that you're helping us out again, but it's great to know that you've been helping out Homes for Troops for the last 10 years. We
Pleasure.
appreciate it. Looks like an accessible closet for the DeWitts.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Early on at this project, we asked Matt and Kat if there was anything special we could build for them. And they knew right away what they wanted, a new dining room table where they could entertain their friends and family. Well, we have a friend who owns a lumber yard not too far from here in New Hampshire, and he specializes in reclaimed timbers, so he supplied the material.
And this is your stock here, Matt. So there's this big old barn down in Virginia that he completely took down, brought up here for the material. You're looking at some probably rafters here. These are almost 2 inches thick. There's some big beams that we're going to use for the legs. I think that'll give you the look you want.
Right, and the roughness will give you that rustic feel. Because you actually sent me a photograph to give me some inspiration, and from that I was able to come up with this drawing. The main table is going to be about 90 inches by 48 inches.
Okay, looks like it'll fit my family, but do you think it'll fit my extended family that comes for like Thanksgiving?
Well, that will certainly fit your family. You can put 8 people at that table as is. But I'm going to build you an extension, and that gives you a couple more place settings.
Okay, that's great.
But you know, this is going to take a while, so if we're going to get this done today, we got to get going. The first thing we want to do is make all the timbers the same thickness, and to do that, we use a surface planer. We take a little bit off with each pass until all the planks are 1 3/4 inches thick. Well, Matt, it took 7 planks to get you the size of the top that you wanted. Think it's big enough?
Oh, definitely. It looks heavy too.
It will be heavy. Now, one of the things we have to do is make sure that the joints are tight before we glue up. And if you look at this last piece, it's open on each end. We can't have that. We want to have this tight. So I'm going to straighten out this edge using a track saw. So Matt, these boards are not perfectly flat, but when we glue it up, we want the table to be as flat as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install these loose tenons. And to put these in, I have to make a mortise about every 12 inches. We're just going to put a dab of glue in the hole and then drive a tenon in. All right, now we're ready for some glue up, and we're going to apply the glue with these rollers. They do a good job. Every edge is going to get glued. Now, I don't want to put too much glue on, because if too much squeezes out, it's going to get on this side of the table, and that's the top. We want to keep that as clean as possible. Okay, let's bring the first two pieces together. Lift this one up, keep that one on edge. All right, start from one end and line them up. You may have to fuss with it a little bit because these boards are not perfectly straight. All right, next one. Now you can see how those dominoes help align the surfaces.
Definitely.
We got to go quickly because we don't want the glue to set too fast. Therefore, we're going to make the top in two separate sections and join them together later. I got it. There we go. We want to get every bit of this glue off, so the wet sponge is going to be the easiest way. Try not to spread it out too much because this is the top of the table. Well, while that dries, we'll start working on the base, and the first thing I want you to do, Kevin, is cut the legs to length. 28¼ inches. All right, those look good, Kevin. Now, the next thing I have to do is lay out for the tenons that are going to connect the rails of the table to the four legs. So what I have to do is locate the center, just like I did for the tenons we used before on the top. One tenon centered 1 inch down from the top, and one centered 3 inches down from the top. Well, now we're going to turn our attention to the rails. And on the drawing, you can see there are 2 long rails and 2 short rails that connect the legs. They're cut to length, and then I have to cut mortises in them that will match the mortises in the legs, and the tenons will connect the 2 pieces together.
Crust.
Well, now that the 2 sections of the tabletop have dried long enough, we can put them together. So Matt, the breadboard is going to give your table a nice finished look on the ends rather than seeing the end grain. It also adds a little bit of stability. All right, Matt, so to attach the base to the top, I'm using these figure-8 clips. And this is important because your top is going to expand and contract a bit, and we want to have it move freely. And that's what these clips will do for you. So first I drilled a little counter bore and then took a chisel and widened it so that it can swing about 45 degrees. We're going to put it about halfway. Now if the table were to expand, this distance is going to get wider, so it'll swing to the side. If it shrinks, it'll move to the middle. Should be just enough to make sure it doesn't break any of the joints loose. That's a table.
That's awesome. Thank you.
This is now officially one of my favorite projects.
Yeah, I can't wait to have our first dinner here.
On behalf of Homes for Our Troops, it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you who have come to share the day to present this home to Staff Sergeant Matt Dewitt and his family.
This is the Homes for Our Troops case. Welcome home.
Neat.
Kevin, the DeWitts are moved in. The last piece of the puzzle, the cherry up on top, is actually a gas-fired generator right here. Now, this house has got plenty of electronic devices, including the doors that open.
All right.
And this is an area of New Hampshire that loses power plenty. So this is a gas-fired unit. It's about 18 kilowatts.
Nice.
And if you lose the power, all of a sudden this will come on automatically. There's a transfer switch in here which would bring it on. You can see it right here in the panel. And underneath are all the important breakers to bring on, including the HVAC right here.
Nice.
So when cold weather comes, you're going to have some heat.
So the house is operational in a power outage.
Absolutely. That's some peace of mind.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Kat.
Hey.
Look at you guys all settled into your new kitchen. So you've been here for a couple weeks. I'm curious to know what you think. Kat, I'll start with you. How do you like it?
It's great. You know, the open floor plan is amazing. You know, being able to watch the boys while I'm cooking makes it so much easier.
That was high on your list for a new house, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Matt, how about you? How do you find living with everything and all the adaptations?
That's amazing. Just keyless entries and stuff, hitting a button to open doors. I mean, it really helps out and makes stuff a lot easier.
Yeah.
How about the kitchen?
That's great. There's faucet here. You just wave your hand underneath it, kicks on, shuts it off.
That is perfect. Well, I tell you guys, our whole team is reassembled. They want to congratulate and say goodbye. Can you join us outside?
Sure.
Let's go.
Awesome. Well, collectively, we have all really enjoyed being a small part of your project, guys.
Hey, I remember that hot day, 90 degrees, felt like 150. We were helping with the framing. I mean, it was a great project and a lot of fun.
I remember Volunteer Day where with all those people in 5 minutes we put down 10,000 square feet of soil.
Right. And Matt, it was an honor to build a table along with you and Kevin for your dining room, and I hope your family has many, many happy gatherings at that table.
Many happy gatherings and many happy years in your new house. So enjoy. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Roger Cook.
I'm Norm Abram.
I'm Tom Silva.
I'm Rich Rattui.
I'm Matt Hewitt.
For This Old House here in New Hampshire.
Congratulations, guys.
Next time on This Old House.
Before Boston was Boston, there was Charlestown, the center of administration for much of what we now call New England.
I love the old houses in Charlestown. I've been living here for 9 years, and things are falling apart, and I'm ready.
All right.
All the appliances have one by one started to fail, and then the cabinets are flimsy and not very functional for storage.